built. So he was in classes with the three kids. So he mentioned it at the state board, and I resonated with it immediately.
Yeah.
And so I started studying and going to seminars.
So it's wild. It's just one of those things. Check this out. So I just try and start trying to funnel information and.
So you have other people that you work with?
Yes, so we have 5 massage therapists and then 2 estheticians. But I'm mostly
Where you're sucking in the gut and with the swallow doing it, basically stimulating the pineal gland. Pineal gland has
Yeah, we were on a little
baritone and EMT.
Okay.
And dispensable, see, I mean, he has thousands of people come together on his week-long things. And he's seen people, about less than a year ago, he reported that something like 6 people got in wheelchairs and walked. He said, early on I was seeing maybe one.
Just the routine. 30 seconds. What's up?
Hello, honey. Good to see you too.
Good morning, everybody. Happy. I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. Yeah. Come on in. Welcome home. You are loved. You belong here now. No matter where you've been. Come on in. Come on. You are loved. You belong here now. No matter where you've been. Come on in. 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 Welcome home. You are loved. You belong here now. No matter where you've been. Come on in. Welcome home. You are loved. You belong here now. No matter where you've been. Come on in. 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 Welcome home. You are loved. You belong here now. No matter where you've been. Come on in. Alrighty. Thanks. Thanks. I give you thanks for all you've done. And I am so blessed. My soul is at rest. Oh God, I give you thanks. Let's do it. Thanks, good. Thanks. I give you thanks for all you've done. And I am so blessed. My soul is at rest. Oh God, I give you thanks. Thanks, thanks, I give you thanks for all you've done. And I am so blessed. My soul is at rest. Oh God, I give you thanks. Together. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see love in every face.
Good morning, Unity of Chattanooga. As we light our Christ candle this morning, and we've done it on the outer, and now let's do it on the inner. Let's light that Christ candle, and I just invite us to bring our hands to our heart and to become heart-centered. For God is love, and I am love. And I embody the love of God. And I invite us now, as we are embodying this love, that we just extend this light and love to everyone in this room, to everyone on YouTube and Facebook Live, and to our world. For I am now in the presence of divine being. And so it is. Amen.
Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I can feel God's mighty power and God's grace. There's a holy hush around us. I see love in every face. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. Surely the presence of the Lord is in this place. I love it. Y'all sound so wonderful. You know, over there in the corner and even at the other little places, I could never hear your voices. And now I can hear you. It's just beautiful. All I have is all I feel, is all because of you. And all I read is all I saw. And love is our living proof. Thank you for life. Thank you for everything. I stand here in grace and gratitude, and I thank you. Seasons come and seasons go. No matter what we choose, 1,000 names and 1,000 roads all lead to one simple truth. Thank one simple truth. Thank you for life. Thank you for everything. I stand here in grace and gratitude, and I thank you, and I thank you, and I thank you.
Make sure you're through. Hello again. Welcome, everyone. It's a glorious morning here at Unity of Chattanooga. I'm Amanda Adamson, and I serve as the president. I'm privileged to serve as the president of your board of trustees. All is well, God is good, and so are you. We're grateful and excited to have you all here today, both in person and online. Your presence means a lot to us, so don't hesitate to say hello or engage with us during the service online. Good morning. Do we have any newcomers this morning? Yeah, you're in for it. It's wonderful to see new faces here joining us today. Our ushers have a special packet of information about Unity that you won't want to miss. Feel free to fill out the paper on the back if you're interested in our newsletter. Let's all warm up our hands. Mojo coming, mojo coming. For a special welcome. We love you. We bless you. We appreciate you. And we behold the Christ in you. Excellent. When we speak of the Christ in you, we're recognizing the same sacred essence that Jesus himself embodied, a reminder of the divine reality that exists within each individual, and the opportunity for spiritual awareness and enlightenment. We integrate the wisdom of Jesus and the other ancient teachers with modern scientific, psychological, and metaphysical principles. Unity of Chattanooga is a part of Unity Worldwide Ministries, a spiritual community started over a century ago by Charles and Myrtle Fillmore, offering practical resources for personal spiritual growth. We view God as a loving spiritual energy that is present everywhere and available to everyone. God is the one power, all good, everywhere present, and all wisdom that is continually creating, expressing, and sustaining all creations. We believe that people can become aware of and connect to their oneness with divine energy through prayer and meditation. We strive to live from the inside out. So, let's connect with one another and say hello and give a hug and greet your neighbors and that's it.
Check.
So you said one of them was concept chiropractic?
Concept therapy.
Concept therapy, okay, because I took notes. I don't remember your name. Yes, I know.
I woke up to the morning sky first. Baby blue just like we rehearsed. When I get up this ground, I shake the leaves back down to the brown, brown, brown until I'm clean, yes. Then I walk where I'll be shaded by the trees, by the meadow of green, for about a mile. I'm headed to town, town, town in style, with all my favorite colors, all my favorite colors, that's right. My sisters and my brothers, see them like no other, all my favorite colors. A good day to be, good day for me, good day to see my favorite colors. My sisters and my brothers, treat them like no other, all my favorite colors. Baby bluebirds fly, gray clouds, white walls, blue skies. We're gonna fly, feel alright, 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 feel alright. Yeah, feel like yeah. At least I can say I anticipate a homecoming parade as we renegade in the morning. Alright, with all my favorite colors, with all my favorite colors, that's right. My sisters and my brothers, see them like no other, all my favorite colors. A good day to me, good day for me, good day to see my favorite colors, colors. My sisters and my brothers, see them like no other, all my favorite colors. All right, let's start to find our seats.
Now as we find our way back to our seats, hello again. Yes. Some people don't get subtlety. I just no. It is my honor to welcome Reverend Lora Beth Gilbreath, who is a native of Chattanooga and found her Unity beginnings here. Well, maybe not in this building, but at Christ Church Unity, which went by another name back then, years ago. During this time, she became a licensed Unity teacher, served on the board, so we know she's brave, and gave a few truth talks here in this very room before she headed off to Unity's ministerial school in 2001. Her path to becoming a licensed and ordained minister led her back to Tennessee, where she serves as the Unity Minister of Unity Transformation in Knoxville. Today, we are so fortunate to have her join us at Unity of Chattanooga along with her husband Ken. So let's all show some love and let's welcome Reverend Lora Beth Gilbreath.
Thank you. Oh, just taking it all in this morning to see new faces, familiar faces. Some of us go way back together. And it is exciting because I'm here on a 23-year anniversary, because it was on June 1st, 2001, that was my last Sunday here before going to ministerial school. We had a big celebration afterwards. We went to some restaurant over in Oak Ridge. I'm from Knoxville, okay, from East Ridge. And it's just a delight to be back and to celebrate the joining of Christ Unity and Unity of Chattanooga. Give yourselves a hand, guys. Well, one thing I forgot to bring in so you could see it, and if that's the only thing I've forgotten this morning, that's great, because I left things in Knoxville this morning as well. Has anybody read the book that I dearly love? It's called The Soul of Money by Lynn Twist. Anybody read it? I wanted to show it to you this morning. I didn't get it up on the PowerPoint. I love this book because the stories in it are so, I'll pull this out a little bit. It's so, are y'all hearing me okay now? Yeah. They're so inspiring and they're so inspirational. The Soul of Money. Well, I want to tell you a little bit about the author Lynn Twist because it'll set the stage for one of the stories from the book that I'm going to share this morning. Lynn Twist and her husband, back in the 1970s, her husband Bill was graduating with an MBA. And this is told in the first chapter of the book that's called The Siren Song of Success. And there was a particular company, she doesn't name the company, that was just really in the growth market back in the 70s. So they hired her husband Bill and other people, and what this company's goal was to be the first company in the history of America to make it to $1 billion status, to be the quickest to do it. And my sidebar is, why? Why do you set that goal? But they did. And Lynn says that everybody was seduced by that goal. She said she encouraged her husband to get up early, go in early, work late, use their weekends and take business trips. And Lynn said, I fooled myself into believing that my 3 children were my most important thing in my life. But she said, we were having to spend an enormous amount of time with a nanny. We were missing important milestones in their life. And even when we were with the kids, we really weren't. We were thinking about the business and making comments back and forth about what needed to be handled or didn't need to be handled. She says, something drove us and we didn't stop to question any of it. And I'm quoting here from chapter 1. She says, to be socially literate, we felt we needed to learn about fine wine. And when we did, then we needed a wine cellar. We bought a hot sports car, and then we needed another car, a station wagon for our children. We had a wonderful house, but somehow it didn't seem finished without some impressive art. And the beat goes on. Okay? Well, we're here this morning at Unity in our New Thought teachings that tell us we are all spiritual beings and we're made in the image and likeness of God. And if you forget that, that's why you want to be here, because you're always going to be reminded of that. And what comes along with being a spiritual being made in the image and likeness of God means that there are indwelling gifts and talents to be brought into expression into the world for our own unique mission and purpose. Well, in the midst of Lynn's siren song of success, she woke up. And what she specifically says is the hunger project woke her up. It turns out, even when she was a young child, she was concerned about children and people around the world that didn't have enough to eat. And I'm quoting again from chapter 1. The Hunger Project's message that it was possible, using existing resources to end chronic, persistent hunger on earth. It resonated right in the heart of my heart. And it took me back to the moment in my childhood when I had realized everyone wasn't taken care of, and I wanted to do something about it. I felt a call from my soul that was so deep and so profound that I couldn't deny it. In that moment, I began to separate myself from the chase. So today, we're going with the Hunger Project and Lynn Twist's work, the country of Bangladesh. And there it is. They're in Southeast Asia. And this was a land that was once very, very, very abundant with tropical rainforests. But it was the late 1900s when the landscape of Bangladesh changed dramatically. The beautiful rainforests were torn down. Breaks my heart to think about it. The land was ravaged by war. They had seasonal flooding. And with the seasonal flooding, you didn't have the rainforest anymore to mitigate the flooding. So it took even a greater toll on the land. And in the 1970s, the United Nations said that Bangladesh was the second poorest country on earth. I remember in the 1970s, and several in this room of our vintage can remember that. Do you remember when George Harrison did the concert for Bangladesh? And it was made into a movie. And I remember going to see the movie down the street with the movie theater that was near the levees when it was a movie theater. I remember seeing it. Well, what happened with George Harrison's focus on Bangladesh is a lot of money began to flow in towards Bangladesh. So we want to say, yes, that's a good thing. But what happened is Bangladesh just became more and more dependent on outside aid. It was kind of a giant begging bowl of a nation. The Bangladeshis had no sense of their own vision, their own mission, what they could be doing in the world for their own lives. Now, the next place that I want to draw our attention to, it's another small area. It's called Sylhet. It's right up there, the Sylhet. It's Sylhet. And in this area of Bangladesh, the people were just going to have to leave that area because what had happened, they were having their version of kudzu. But their kudzu was this prickly vegetation with poisonous berries that was aggressively taking over the land. So the big question in Sylhet was, how were they going to perhaps send the men somewhere else to work so the resources could come back to the families of the people in Sylhet? Well, the people had these little bits of land that had been given to them by the government, but the farming was impossible. Even young people were begging, and the crime rate was an all-time high. So the big question is, where are we going to send the men to work to send the money back to this area? Well, about this exact time was when Lynn Twist and the Hunger Project came to Bangladesh. And they did a study all over Bangladesh to see where the best improvement was being made. And they noticed that the most improvement was coming in areas where the Bangladeshis were involved in their making their own solutions to what was going on. So the World Hunger Project said, well, let's see if we can make the Bangladeshis be authors of their own success? Okay? Can we instill a sense of their own vision, their own mission, their own competence, and how they can become part of this process? So they came up with a specific workshop. It's called a Vision, Commitment, and Action Workshop. And they started in the capital of Dhaka, and I put Dhaka up here because you might need that this week on Jeopardy for a Jeopardy answer, okay? I didn't know the capital of Bangladesh, okay? Now, the first, in Dhaka, they had a public park that was large enough to seat at least 1,000 people. And the day they did the first workshop, it was packed. You couldn't even see a blade of grass. There were these brown, beautiful people spread out in all directions. Children, babies, people really, really attentive to what might be helpful to them in their lives. So the community leaders said a few things at the beginning, and then they did a very unity-like exercise. They invited them to use the power of imagination. It's one of our 12 powers, right? They asked people to close their eyes and envision what a self-sufficient, self-reliant Bangladesh would look like. And I'm quoting now from chapter 6. It says, at first the people sat there still, eyes closed, expressionless, shoulder to shoulder in the park. A hush settled over the crowd, and the sea of faces remained still, eyes closed in thought. And after a few minutes, people were still sitting with their eyes closed, but they were now silently weeping. It was hundreds of weeping faces. It was as if they had never in their lifetime even thought that they could be self-reliant or self-sufficient or a contributing nation. It was a brave new thought. New thought. Have you ever heard that phrase before? Unity, of course, comes under the broad umbrella of our New Thought teachings. And whenever I think about New Thought, I come to Paul's word in Romans, which is, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. Our ministry in Knoxville is about transformation, unity transformation. Be ye renewed. Because the basis of our teaching is our lives transformed when we're holding a new thought, right? Okay. Unity's law of mind action is a thought held in mind reproduces after its kind. Well, afterwards, the Bangladeshis began to talk. They began to share their vision. But what was emphasized to them, it was going to be more than just having that vision. They were going to have to step in to be the people to bring it into action. And I think that's a lesson for them, and that's a lesson for us, right? How do we take that vision and embody it and then bring it into action? And that brings me to our fifth unity principle. It says knowledge of these principles is not enough. We must live them, right? And again, the big question for us, for them at that time and for us now, is how do we embody what our vision is and put it into action? How do we do that? Well, then a new character comes into our story, and his name was Zilu. Z-I-L-U. Probably won't need his name for Jeopardy or anything, but he is a key person in our story. And he ended up going to one of the World Hunger Project workshops by accident. He was a leader up in the Sylhet region, And actually, he was up there working with people about helping the men exit the area and coming up with that idea. But one of his cousins talked him into going to Dhaka to go to one of the workshops. Well, guess what? It reignited his passion for serving his community. He was so passionate after the workshop that he stayed 3 more days in Dhaka to learn how to facilitate the workshop. Then he went back home to the kudzu, to the vegetation with poisonous berries region. And he got 3 of his closest friends. He gave them the workshop. And they came up with a plan. The 7 of them, they call them the Magnificent 7. They came up with a plan to transform the area from poverty to prosperity. Now, before they started into their plan, one of the things to do was to look at resources. And this is always something important in our own lives, to look at our resources, because many times we have resources right at hand that we're not paying attention to. And that we make a list of those resources and develop an appreciation for what we actually have in our lives. And once they had their resources, then they stepped into their vision, commitment, and action. Well, the first thing the Magnificent 7 did is they got the government to clear 17 acres of land. They cleared it for them. And then they went to their community and were able to raise $750 to get equipment to continue the clearing. They began to build a road around the area of the land. Then they gave the workshop to 600 people in the area. And those 600 people began clearing the land and helping with the building of the road. The government was so impressed with what they were doing, guess what? They gave them an additional 100 acres. Remember the previous crime rate? It was going down because now the young people were cultivating the land, were farming. And when they cleared the land, guess what they found? An unknown lake and stream that was just abundant with fish. They didn't even know it was there. Crime rate dropped by 70%. And I like to call this a postmodern gospel story. I think it ranks right up there with the miracles that we read about in the Gospels. Yes? So what does this area of Bangladesh have to do with me and with my own life? Well, hopefully nobody in this room feels like their whole life is covered with that prickly vegetation, right? But might there be one area of your life where you're being invited to hold a different vision about it? So is there a way that you can step in and hold a vision? And we're going to put this, John, let's back it up one here. I'm going to take you through the steps that they worked with the people of Bangladesh. If you want to take your phone and take a picture of it and take those steps home with you to work them, you can. And again, what area of your life do you want to work on a different vision? Because the very first step is to do what they did in the park. Take that time to be quiet in the silence, eyes closed, to see what vision emerges for you. And the second step, as we talked about, is taking an assessment and an inventory of your resources, because you might be surprised. Okay, you might be surprised at some of the resources that you're not paying attention to, because that's what really gets us going in a positive direction. And then the step 3, really appreciate your resources, because what you appreciate appreciates. What I appreciate appreciates. Together, what I appreciate appreciates. And that's an important step here. And while we're on New Thought, let me share a quote here from Ernest Holmes. Some of you may be familiar, the founder of religious science. Ernest Holmes says that the abundance you desire to experience must first be an experience in your own mind. And Charles Fillmore, our co-founder of Unity, from Mysteries of John, he says, it has been found by experience that a person increases his blessings by being grateful for what he has. Step 4, take small actions. The Bangladeshis were able to do that. They were able to break it down into small, doable steps. So I'm really inviting us today to look at an area of our life where we can hold a different vision on. And how can we work these steps? How can we be that plan and action that we embody our vision, so that we step forward, transforming our lives, transforming the world around us in ways that are positive, principled, and practical. And I see each and every one of us going out and rocking our world. And so it is. Okay. Is it time for some meditation? No? Is it meditation time? Yes? Oh, Penny says yes. Sorry, Amanda, I listened to Penny. I worked with her too many years to know. Let me just put this down. So I'm going to invite us now to go to our heart this morning. And I invite us to connect heart to heart, spirit to spirit, and also to be aware of that community that's with us digitally this morning, on Facebook Live, on YouTube. And I invite us right now to join our prayers with our Unity Prayer Ministry for those in the Prayer Vigil Chapel that have been holding this vigil of prayer since 1890. And I invite us to join our prayers with hundreds and thousands of people right now worldwide that are in the silence, whether they be Hindu or Buddhist, Muslim, Jews. And right now, God is wisdom. I am wisdom. And this wisdom embodies every cell of my body. And I now relax in to this power and presence of the divine as I open to this greater understanding for these moments of prayer and meditation in the silence. As we come back together as in our prayer time together, invite us to allow to bubble up into our hearts any people or situations that we want to be brought into this time of collective prayer. We hold in prayer our world leaders, our national leaders, our local leaders. We hold in prayer those places around the world like the Mideast and Ukraine. We call forth the highest and best. And for all those people and situations that are near and dear to our heart, we now affirm that God's greater good in this present moment is now unfolding, and we claim it in the name and through the power of the living, loving Christ Spirit. And join me now in saying, Amen. So it is.
Look at that. I wore my heels today, so I match up perfectly with the microphone. Lora Beth, that was awesome. Thank you so much. She made my job really easy this morning, because now's the time for us to, now's the time that we take up our love offering. And, you know, one simple step, like you were saying, is giving, because money is an energy and it's reciprocal. And we always, when we give of our time, talents, and our resources, it always comes back to us in spades. So say it with me this morning. Divine love for me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give in love, and I receive in abundance.
Flow, Spirit, flow through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding peace. Show, Spirit, show through me as I open up to be an expression of your unfolding love.
How about that? Father, Mother God, we just come to you with thanks and praise. We thank you for this abundance. We thank you for each and every person here. We thank you for the gift, and we thank you for the giver. We thank you that this is multiplied and blesses each and every person here. And so it is. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much, Reverend Lora Beth. What we appreciate, appreciates. So I would say I have a few announcements. I have a lot of announcements, so hold on. First off, the Wellness Warriors group will meet on Thursday, June 6th at noon, right here. Everyone is welcome to attend. Where's Eric? Okay. This past week, the group honored our own Gino Petro with a Courage Award. Which was a lovely, there it is, good, I don't have to do see that? A beautiful token given to a beautiful man. Who deserves to be recognized for his grit, his faith, his love, his humor, and his steadfastness in the face of some overwhelming physical challenges these last 2 years. You, my friend Gino, inspire us all. Thank you for being you, for showing us how to not give up or give in when the going gets tough. Your attitude and your outlook is amazing and a joy to behold. Thanks, Gina. So, belly dancing with Amanda Newfield. Please don't ever confuse her with me because, yeah. She's wonderful. And that is, they meet the first and third Thursdays right here, and the cost is $15 per class. And the next class will be Thursday, June 6th at 6:30. And she says that all beginners are welcome. We are also looking for a volunteer or two that has a green thumb or a passion to help us create a small outdoor sitting area in remembrance of Terry Lovelace. If you're interested, please see me after the service and I'll give you the details. Looking ahead to Saturday, June 15th, Lynn Seeger is looking for anyone who would like to go paddling down the Hiawassee River, which is a nice, gentle river, she says. Bring your lunch and stop for a picnic along the way. If this interests you, please see Lynn Seeger. She's not here today, but we'll give you her number to get in touch with her. Okay, so now for my plug. A handful of us have been busy every Saturday for the last month getting the interior of the main room, the kitchen, and the back door area ready to paint. This coming Saturday, June 8th, we will be doing the easy part. We're actually going to be putting paint on the walls, and we need help to get this done in one day. So please stop in and lend us a hand. You can just stay for an hour, 30 minutes, 45. It's all welcomed. And let's get this done. So today, for our volunteer spotlight, I'd like to shine the light on someone who doesn't really like having the light shone on them. And that's my favorite person, Steve Adamson, my handsome husband. Wave, Steve. Steve was recommended by Penny for our spotlight. And she said that, every week he comes in and helps set up and clean up. There's a lot that goes on behind the scenes, and we appreciate that. In addition to being an understanding and patient husband of the church lady, as he likes to call me. You remember Saturday Night Live? Anyway. He gives his time, his energy, and sweat equity to help with pretty much every project that we have going on here at Unity. He is a committed hard worker and has a can-do attitude. And we want to say thank you for all that you do for us here at Unity of Chattanooga, Steve. We appreciate you. There was no favoritism here, I promise. Okay, so next Sunday we have a guest speaker who is new to Unity of Chattanooga, but well known by the folks at Christ Church Unity. His name is Reverend Gregory Fisher, and he is currently on the speaking team with Center for Spiritual Living in Nashville. His talk is called Water into Wine. He asks if transformation, again, is the goal. Do we have the courage to trust a process we can't control for a future we can't yet envision? Sounds good. Y'all show up and support him next week. For those of you who would like to become a member of Unity of Chattanooga, we'll be holding a new member orientation with Reverend Fayanne Schmidt on Sunday, July 8th at 1 p.m. That's after our potluck here on Sunday. There is a sign-up sheet on the table by the front door. Please include your email address because we will be emailing some materials so you don't have to be here but a short while we do the class. By the way, our very own Eric Miller, it's a little plug here, has donated another book to our bookstore library right behind me, and it's called A Caregiver's Journey, and this was written by Eric Miller. And so I believe it's $15 if you'd like to purchase it, or if you, anybody, what price? Whatever I want to charge for it. You don't want to say that. I'm kind of generous. So please check this out and thumb through it. Thank you, Eric, for that donation. If you can, we invite you to lend a helping hand to set up tables and chairs after the fellowship. And I know we love to congregate and gibby gab, but just be aware where we have to do a little transformation before lunch. So please check out our bookstore, gift store, lending library, and the room behind us. And now let's join in standing and singing the peace song.
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God our Creator, in oneness all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. With every step I take, let this be my joyous vow. To take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.